And those of you who are longtime viewers know that I'm all about smelling things. A little overboard about it, so.
The long-awaited Strawberry Rhubarb Mead. So this is a mead, which means alcoholic honey wine, okay, mixed with other stuff. But just want to get that out there that we're making alcohol here. So Shane Damon, I'm sorry if we're saying your name wrong, sent us some honey and canned rhubarb. And after seeing this, we went, wait a minute. If it was that easy to get, why didn't we ever see this before? I've never seen it in a store, but I went on to Walmart.com and got more. People have been asking us for a rhubarb mead for a long time, and we can finally deliver. Hopefully the canned stuff is as good as fresh. I don't really know.
All right, so Shane got this honey from a local apiary.
Waller Apiary.
Yes. And it was in mason jars, and because he was shipping it to us, he was concerned, so he
moved it to a plastic container.
To a plastic container, which unfortunately lost its cap.
Yeah, the cap came off in transit. So
we have
it's in a plastic bag though, so that was helpful.
Very sticky.
So what we want to do is we're going to weigh this because we don't actually know how much we have. Yep. This is like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
3 pounds, 3.1 ounces.
You want to take a note on that?
Because what we're going to do is dump all the honey in and then weigh the bottle afterwards so we know how much honey we used.
Right. So because we got a significant
By
amount
we, I mean she.
in the bag, I'm going to try my best to get it all in here.
Oh, he even shrink wrapped it and everything, and it's still popped off.
You did your best, Shane. We applaud you for your effort.
Oh yeah, we're not in any way picking on Shane because we have literally seen like boxes come from UPS that it looks like somebody like smacked it with a 2x4 right down the middle, just caved in. It's like, how did you not? But you know, whatever. So the fact that we got any at all, I am impressed.
All right, I'm just going for it. I'm gonna just sit in there for a little bit
and think about what it's done.
Yeah, we're gonna need
Did it solidify? No?
It's moving.
What do we need?
Can you grab my towel because I'm sticky? I need
always
some
know
water.
where your towel is.
You always know where your towel is.
Okay, after some seriously sticky business, we have an empty bottle. Well, it's just about, I mean, it's like 99% empty and a mostly empty bag. And that leaves us with 5.1 ounces. So that means we have 2 pounds, 14 ounces of honey, which is just about perfect.
All right, so I'm going to put the rest of this in here.
And I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so now what we have is, you can see to the line, we have about 3/4 of a gallon. So we want to fill the rest with water up to a full gallon. Go to right there. See my fingernail? And stop. The exact amount isn't crucial, but if you go too much water, you're going to have less of a alcohol content. And if you go not enough water, it could be too high for your yeast. So.
All right, so you probably want to stir.
I want to mix.
Yes, we are aware that we haven't put the rhubarb or the strawberries in there yet.
It'd be harder to mix.
But we have a big globby honey mix in there.
Yeah, that honey was almost crystallized.
Almost.
Not quite. Just enough to make it difficult to get out of the bottle. And that is in no way picking on Shane or anything like that. That's just the way honey is. Yeah. Some honey actually crystallizes almost immediately. So sometimes that's the sign of a higher quality honey too.
Yes. Less hydration, less water.
Now, just so you're aware, everything that we used here that's going to touch this brew has been sanitized in
the red bucket of sanitization.
Because we want to prevent infection as much as possible.
And that was including my hands.
Oh yeah, my hands were sanitized too. I just tried to avoid touching things because I don't like sticky messes. Someone suggested that I get like the nitrile gloves. Here's the problem with that. I don't like wearing those gloves either because it feels like something sticky is on my hand. So it doesn't really help. I don't mind work gloves, like the big thick ones when you're working outside. I don't like my hands being all sticky. Especially with gloves, if the honey, that's bad. No.
He doesn't like tight collars. He doesn't like tight cuffs. It's a whole laundry list of things that.
Yep. We all have our neuroses. You know you do. Are we there yet?
Almost.
We there yet? We there yet? We there yet? We there yet? Gotta stab a knife down between my fingers. Whoa! That was amazingly accurate.
I missed.
Also, at this point, it's okay to get some oxygen in there. You don't want it after fermentation starts, but in this stage, it's a good idea. Yeast like to have some oxygen to help build up their colony and get things started. Just don't splash your partner, especially when she's the one that did all the sticky business, so you didn't have to. All right, so at this point, we have our honey. We're good. I'm gonna start putting in the rhubarb.
All right, but first,
What?
we're gonna get a bag.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use a bag.
We have a love-hate relationship with the bag.
Mostly hate.
Lately, it's been, you know what?
They're not so horrible.
That's a good idea. Let's start using those more often. All right, so before we get more stuff, we need a bag. Now, this bag has been sanitized just like everything else. And you kind of put it in and then do a little lip thing there. So
This bag is probably larger than what we need.
Yes.
Now, I have never worked with rhubarb. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't had rhubarb since I was like 10, when my grandfather used to make strawberry rhubarb pies. So I don't remember it at all. I know it's supposed to be tart, and it looks like red celery. And what do you know? It looks like red celery. Doesn't really smell like anything. Oh, it's all chopped up. It's in little bits.
Perfect. You could have taken the lid all the way off. That would have been helpful.
Gotta make life complicated.
Do you, though?
Yep. Life is too easy. Make it difficult.
I don't know what life you're living.
And we got 3 cans. These are 14.5 ounce cans. And it says in light syrup. Rhubarb slices and extra light syrup, as a matter of fact. Now, just looking at the can, there's 3 servings per can, and each one is 17 grams. So there's 54 grams of sugars in each can times 3. That's like 162 grams of sugar. That's like a third of a pound of little. Yeah, it's not much.
The ingredients are rhubarb, water, cane sugar, fruit, and vegetable juice for color.
Yeah, so it's not going to add a lot of sugars, but a little bit of sugars.
Next up, these strawberries. Our
Right.
strawberries are frozen because it's just so much easier that way.
Yeah, we find that if you use them frozen, you don't get all the juices on the side of the bag, so you don't have to rinse the bag out, which is great. But they're frozen, and that means your yeast may start up a little slower. If 3 pounds of strawberries, by the way. Yeah, she really
Yeah.
likes the smell of
I'm gonna
these. Smell so good.
puff the bag.
These are Season's Choice strawberries. I think we got them from Walmart, which we're
I think
starting.
we got them from Aldi.
Oh, we got them from Aldi.
Yep.
Okay. We have been moving away from using Walmart as a sort of a test because we had some weird experiences with various things, and someone said it could be the fruit from Walmart. So you know what? We're going to find out. We've been shopping at Publix and Aldi for stuff like this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They smell really good. Mm-hmm. They smell more like strawberries than I remember the Walmart strawberry smelling like. So
they smell great.
That's a plus. Let me get rid of all this junk.
All right, so the cans of rhubarb did come from Walmart. Actually,
But it's Oregon brand. It's not
right,
great value
it's a
brand.
good brand. So
Yeah, it's a brand of stuff that
we've
seen
used
before.
that brand before with their, I think they're Bing cherries. They're canned cherries.
Now, interestingly enough, we may have overdone the amount of fruit needed for this one. Let me just show you how full this bag is. Yeah, see, looking at that bag, that's a lot of fruit in there, but that's where all your flavor is going to come from. So also, it'll mash up a little bit over time as it breaks down during fermentation.
And we like to do this little twisty wrap thing.
Yeah. We like to. We hate to. But this is why I don't like using bags, because it's just, they're a pain.
Yeah, they are. But sometimes the alternative is a pain.
Yeah, if you don't use the bag, see, I don't know what rhubarb's going to do. It could completely fall apart and become mush.
could.
I know strawberries don't tend to do that so much, and someone's going to ask why we didn't mash up the strawberries, because you just don't need to. You really don't.
So part of that is because they're frozen strawberries, and the act of freezing actually breaks down the cell walls. Lovely. Those little ice crystals become like little tiny daggers. And they perforate the strawberries. So when they thaw out, they are nice and soft and mushy, and the yeast can get in there and do all the stuff they want to.
I'm just going to give this a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
before I take a reading. Now, the reading will include some of the juices from some of the fruits, but not all of the juices from all of the fruits. And that's okay. It's already coloring the liquid, though.
An estimate.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah, and I'm estimating it to be somewhere around like a 1.100, maybe a little bit higher, just a touch higher.
Kind of shot right up there.
Yeah, I was getting nervous for a minute there. And it's looking like 1.106. So it's well within the range that we like. I will talk about that in just a second after I pour that back in, because everything was sanitized, I can do that. So starting at 1.106, if I put my fingernail across 1.106 and turn around to potential alcohol, I can see that that's 11, 12, 13. That's just about spot on 14% ABV. I'm totally cool with that. And so is the yeast we're going to use today, which is Lalvin 71B. We used to call this one the Beast. Now we just call it Lalvin 71B. But it's actually a really good yeast for fruity fermentations, especially like something like this, where there's a lot of fruit involved.
Right. Now, because we have our bag in there, we do want to place our yeast where the bag is not.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to use a half a packet, put it in a couple different spots. Try not to get it all over the sides because, then they don't get to fulfill their destiny, and cats and dogs living together.
But you don't have to stir it. You don't have to.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not touching it. Just walk away.
There's just one more thing we need.
And what's that?
It's a lid and airlock.
Oh, right. Yeah. Since we're using a plastic bucket that has a lid that you want to kind of snap it on, but how do you know you really got a good seal? You got to use the Haas. That's the hammer of superior sealing. Plus, it's fun. Freak out your neighbors. Make them wonder what the hell you're doing in there.
Or your mother-in-law.
I was done 5 minutes ago. I just like doing it. And now, an airlock. And I know, somebody's going to say, oh, you don't need an airlock. Just do this. You know what? Just use an airlock. There's a lot of ways you can do things. And while I, in theory, support doing things in many different ways, there are kind of best ways to do things. And a lid and an airlock is the best way. Can you just leave this open? Sure. But you have a chance of something falling into it, bugs getting into it, all sorts of things happening, which might not be so great.
Also, if you have it too tight, you're not going to allow the gases that are going to be built up due to the fermentation process to escape without rupturing your vessel. That's right. We don't want kablooey.
Yeah, no kablooey here. My tape is awful. Got to microwave it. Somebody told me that. Got to microwave it for like 10 seconds. I just have yet to do it. Microwave's in the other room. This is the studio. Now, while she's doing that, I want to point something out. I would normally like to put a tilt into something like this. However, we put so much fruit in there that the tilt wouldn't tilt. Therefore, can't use a tilt. So we just got to do this one the old-fashioned way. But even if I use a tilt, which this is a tilt. It's a digital hydrometer that has Wi-Fi, transmits to your phone and stuff like that.
It's a great toy.
Yeah, it's a toy. But even if I used a tilt, I would still use the hydrometer for all of my readings to verify everything.
All right. Do we have today's date on this?
We don't. I've been forgetting to put the dates on them. I don't know why. Today is April 9th, 2026. In case you're wondering.
We have water. We have honey. We have...
I didn't mark how much water.
And strawberries. Water to a gallon.
Yeah.
A U.S. gallon, in case you're curious.
All right. I'll mark that too. Yeah, it was water to a gallon, then we added the fruit. We should end up with about a gallon because the juices in the rhubarb and the strawberry should give up and come out once all said and done. But
all right, so we have a good amount of headspace, so we don't really have to worry about this getting too excited and erupting all over the place. If we are closer to the top, we would want to put this on a lipped tray,
just to
so
keep
that way,
flowing.
if it got foamy and messy, which is totally fine, it's just messy, and that way the lip tray will catch the mess rather than it go all over your place.
So what are we going to do with this now?
We're gonna let it sit.
See you in a couple of weeks. Okay, it's been 3 weeks. And I don't have a tilt in this because of the big bag and stuff. So we got to do this the old-fashioned way, which means take the lid off and take a look at it. I have been giving it a swirl every single day. And I'll show you why. As you look inside there, basically all you can see is the bag. There's just so much fruit in there and everything that the bag is just sticking out of the liquid. But that's why I keep it wet, to keep mold away.
It's also a good idea if you have this kind of situation, not only to do the swirl, but to not remove the lid. Just keep it on as long as possible, because you want to have all the protections in place that you have available to you. So keeping it moist and not drying out is a good protection, but also keeping that CO2 blanket from the fermentation process is another good thing. Because remember, mold needs oxygen.
Right. And if this were moldy, you would have seen mold all over that bag already. And I forgot to put the hydrometer in first.
One of the things that I am noticing, even from this distance, is its aroma.
Strawberry, strawberry, strawberry.
It's lovely.
Let's just set that on here.
Let's do that, shall we?
Just to be safe. Okay, it's reading 0.994.
That's pretty darn dry.
Yeah. Now, we have a rule, and that rule is take a reading, wait a week, take another reading. We haven't been following that rule very much lately.
We haven't, for various reasons.
So Derica has said that we should follow it.
This would be one of those reasons. If it goes below 1.000 and you've given it a significant amount of time to ferment, it's probably done.
So could we rack this right now? Of course we could, and it'd be totally fine. Do we want to, or do we want to let this sit a week?
Well, we can let it set a week, but we might want to remove the bag.
Right. That was where I was going to kind of lead with this, which means we need a strainer and a pot. Okay.
So I've gotten a colander and a bowl, and I've sanitized both. So if you see any bubbles, that's because our sanitizer is Star San, which is a foaming sanitizer. Please don't set that down. Thank you.
Okay. So am I doing it? Guess I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
There's no nice way to do this. You just got to get in there with
I know want to be a little bit slow.
sanitized hands. You got to be slow, gentle, and patient.
Yet firm.
Yeah, and you have me doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure about the slow or the gentle part or the patient part.
Definitely firm.
That's what she said. Okay, and I'm just kind of squeezing the bag. There's no nice way to say that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do it as close to the top as possible. There's so much gas in here right now that it's not really a worry. Just to get some of the liquid out and drain for like a minute. This is not my favorite thing. It feels a little
wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
It feels slimy, even though it isn't.
Yeah.
Just because the pulp.
The pectin.
Yeah. Thanks. I feel much better now.
Pectin is better than slime.
This is true. It's the pulp.
Yeah.
There's a steady stream coming off it, so still waiting. You know, there's just so much innuendo this time.
The jokes just keep coming.
They make themselves. But if you don't squeeze the bag this way, then you are going to lose out on some of your product. So that's why we're doing this. But now...
I think we're done.
Yep, I'm just going to throw it in there.
And he's going to go wash his hands.
Yep. Now, one thing that's really important is at this point, if you look, you can see that we have significantly less volume than the full gallon. And normally that would be something I'd be slightly concerned with. I'm going to pour the sample back in, but nice and careful.
You want me to tilt it here?
Nope, I'm just doing it without... You know how like you can dive into water and not make a splash? Well, that's basically what I just did with this.
Yes, be an Olympic diver.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it helps. It wasn't Olympics though. Anyway, so there's a lot of headspace here. Normally that would be a problem. It'd be something I'd be concerned with. But because this literally just finished fermenting, there's a lot of gases in there still. I'm not as concerned about it.
Yeah, let's clear the space here. Get your lid back on. Give it a swirl, see how it's going.
Yeah. This is my favorite thing.
Hopefully everybody's headache's okay now.
Yep. And like she said, I'm just going to give this like a little swirl. I don't want to hit it up into the lid or the seal, which I did already a little bit. Oh, yeah, wow.
Yep, there we go. We're building pressure.
We have some positive pressure. It's actually degassed significantly, though. That's a little surprising.
Yeah.
But I don't think a week's going to be a problem, so we're going to let it sit for that week because what I just did is stirred everything up. When I even squeezed in the bag and everything, stirred everything up, so I want to let that settle and clear. It was looking it looked like strawberry milk.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to let this sit. See you in a week. Okay, last week we took the bag out. This week we're going to check it. Make sure that it didn't ferment anymore. I don't think it's gone. It was at 0.994. I mean, you don't go much further than that, really. It smells like strawberries. Now, I haven't had rhubarb since I can't even remember. I think when my grandfather used to grow it and made strawberry rhubarb pie and stuff like that. It was a big deal back then. I was like 5, so. Well, what do you know? It's still at 0.994. Now, what this is not is clear.
Right.
You know what, though? Let's just take a quick taste of it. Somebody said they thought that our backdrop was a green screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they saw us grab something off of it. I was like, no, it's always been real. Trust me, we didn't have the budget for a green screen when we first started. I was using an iPad on a telescoping arm that would drop as it was going. In the first Viking Blood video, it literally got lower and lower and lower. If you look at the framing, the beginning and at the end, it's vastly different. Times change.
A little bit.
Well, we were trying to do things really simple when we first started. Like filming it and everything. I did it on a cell phone and an iPad.
Got a little bit of
grapefruit
youth going on.
Taste it.
I just brushed my teeth, so I was not prepared for a tasting.
Oh, it's kind of strawberry, kind of tart. I think with some sweetening, this will be lovely.
Cool.
Oh, that's got to taste horrible. I'm just going to focus on your face for a while. Should get the microphone closer to you. Yeah, that had to be great.
Ah.
All right.
Don't do that at home, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a trained professional.
Yeah. Before we go much further, we're going to rack this because before we start making any alterations, we want to make sure that it's out of this vessel and away from all the lees.
But we noticed something because we used our graduated bucket.
Yeah, don't move it.
Okay.
I'll show them this way.
Okay.
If you look at the side of this bucket, you can see that it's at the 5-liter mark. Now we have a little bit more in the test tube there, but it's not quite 1.5 gallons, but it's more than a regular gallon because a gallon would be down here. So it's significantly more than a gallon.
So that means we're going to have to use a larger than a gallon fermenter to rack this into.
It also means I can't use my fancy smancy pitcher to do anything with it. So, oh well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
All right, do you want to get your...
We do. Wait, don't we have a 5-liter? We have 5-liter containers.
Okay.
The plastic one. Do we not want to use that?
The TARDIS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's something in it?
I think it's in the fermentation. All right, so we got our 5-liter plastic container, also known as the TARDIS, out. And it's time for the soul.
Oh, right. The soul. The soul of city steading. The stool of levitation. Somebody told me that they have the exact one that we have, and they weigh 285 pounds, and it holds them.
All right.
Yeah, he's like 6'8". Whew. And he still needs a step stool to get to the top cabinets. That's interesting.
This is my cabinet.
Yeah. But what you want in a levitation device is you want the base to be higher than the top that you will be racking to. What happened?
Smack myself in the face with the...
Probably don't want to do that. Okay, I'm just going to go partway in. Like that. And just follow it down.
All right, so while we're racking, we're going to talk briefly about the clarity issue. I am not surprised that it is not clear based on the ingredients we used.
That's true.
Did we use pectic enzyme?
We can put it in now, though.
Okay.
Yeah, if you put pectic enzyme in, you can help with some of that because this is probably pectic haze. Strawberries have pectin in them. I think even rhubarb has pectin in it. So that's where you'll get that little bit of haze. Do I really care that much about it?
Nope.
Not really. It would be nice to have this a little clearer, so yeah, we'll probably do it this time. We don't always, but this one's a little bit more cloudy than typical. And when I say a little bit more, it's literally just a little bit more.
So Brian's tilting our origination vessel on its side just so slightly, and that's going to create a larger
surface
area of liquid and compacting the lees slightly. You want to be very gentle when you do that because if you slosh it around too much, your lees cake may
not be cake anymore.
Get disturbed and you'll just have an even more cloudy mess.
Now we moved to this container because we have about 5 liters of product here. And I figure with a little bit of loss from the lees at the bottom, we're probably going to fill this so that way we don't have extra headspace. Ideally, you want as little headspace as possible. Now, that has been greatly overblown. It's not the end of the world if you have a little bit more headspace than normal. It's okay. Lots of people like to use like canned gases like argon and whatever. If you want to, if it makes you happy, go for it. We have never once had a brew go bad because there was a 1/2 inch too much headspace at the top. The Lee's cake is actually pretty compact in here, and it's pretty thin.
Oh.
Probably because we used a bag, you know? Who knew? There is some milky stuff, though, so yeah, we'll probably just add some pectic enzyme, clear it right up. But what we're going to do in here is we're actually going to end up sweetening this because it needs a lot of sweetness. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. My toothpaste riddled mouth says yes.
I still don't understand how you did that.
I swirled it on purpose to...
I know, to wipe out all the pain receptors in your mouth, and it was a hard reset on our mouth.
Yes.
There. Alrighty. The rest is toxic sludge. No, I'm just kidding. It's just all the debris and everything that falls out of a fermentation. That I know some people that drink it. I'm not some people. This is my favorite part of the soul. And then I have a little slot between the table and this table. Ta-da! Okay. Pour our sample back in.
Everything in its place and a place for everything.
Yeah. I'm normally not that organized.
I try to be. And fail.
And then I come around.
All right, so we need some honey.
Yes, we do. And for that, we do not have any more of the Waller Apiary honey because we used all of it. We only had a little bit left, I think. 2 pounds, 14 ounces. Yeah, we used what we had. So, whatever. So, for the part of the sweetener, we're going to be using Kirkland wildflower honey. It is still a wildflower honey, so it's all like in the same realm. It's fine. You can use whatever honey you like. If you want to alter flavors, you can use like a fancier, more exotic honey at this point. And the way we sweeten things is you pour a bunch in, you mix it up, and you taste it. I know a lot of people will just say, whoa, honey bubble. A lot of people will just say, oh, I'm adding so many ounces or whatever. That's fine. You can do it that way too. But just know that you are now just choosing an arbitrary sweetening amount rather than actually sweetening it to taste. I would much rather know that this was the way I wanted it rather than just a random number.
Yeah, there's also an added benefit to doing it this way. Sometimes when you add sweetness to a flavor profile, you're going to find that you might need to work on the balance a little bit more. You may need to add more acidity or more tannins or something else, where if you just put in a dose of sweetness, you won't know
Yeah, it kind of covers it up.
Is right or not.
That is one thing. Like, sweetness is kind of like a Band-Aid. It will cover up a lot of mistakes, a lot of faults, you might say. Now, is that necessarily bad? No. Like me personally, I happen to just like things sweet, so does it cover up some faults? Probably, but we've had dry things that were good too. So, you know, if you like things very dry, this was very dry. I think even people that like things dry would probably want a little bit of sweetness in this. It was very tart. And that's, strawberries can be a little bit tart when they're dry, and rhubarb is tart. So now we're going to sweeten it up and make it a sweet tart.
Oh, do you want this back?
Yeah.
It's got lip goop on it now. So this is my side. That is your side.
My side, your side. My side, your side.
Yep, there's still some honey.
I know. And it's going to be harder because this thing has a spigot hole. I hate spigot holes. I don't like spigots. And we get asked this every once in a while, like, oh, well, mine has a spigot. Can I just use that? You totally can. The trick is, if you can attach hose to it or something so that it's not like dropping through the air to get into your bottle or other container, that's totally fine. I just don't prefer to use them. I like using the auto siphon. I just find it easier, personally. Your mileage may vary. And if I don't mix this all up completely, we won't be getting a true representation. And eventually that honey will actually dissolve into it or just sit in the bottom, which is, you know, wasted now. But I do have to be careful. I do not want to aerate and I don't want to splash. It's a very full container. I think I got it. All right, so let's give this a taste. Actually has an interesting color.
Yeah.
I would like it a little bit clearer. We'll be getting to that soon. Oh, it's so much better.
It's getting to the sweet tart situation.
A little bit more. Still got some bitterness in there. Now, some of that could be because it's young. So we may be covering up some youth with some sweetness. I don't want to go too sweet. I want to go just a little bit at a time. If you've never done this before, essentially, just put in a little bit at a time. Like I'm doing a little bit more than I might normally, but it's because I know I like things sweet. That's why I married her. All right. Slightly sweeter sample. Probably smells much the same. I think this is one that's going to need some time to age. That's a good level of sweetness now, I think. Okay, so let's talk about this now. We got the sweetness right. It's got a natural acidity.
Yeah.
Makes your mouth water a little bit. So there's definitely some amount of tannins in it. I don't know that we need to add any more.
No, I feel like it's still gripping in there.
It's grippy.
It's not watery. So
yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, it's got a good viscosity.
Let's go ahead and take a gravity reading for our sweetness level, and then we can add the pectic enzyme.
Okay. I'm guessing, let's see, 1.016. Well, I'm not right, but it's 1.014. Which 1.014 is considered like semi-sweet. Some people consider that super sweet, but I consider that like a semi-sweet. It's in a good range. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the pectic enzyme. Now, pectic enzyme is used to break down pectin, which is naturally occurring in the fruits. And it can create a haze, like what we're seeing here. You would normally add half a teaspoon for a full gallon, like we have here. But when you've already done the fermentation, it's much less effective. So generally add double. So I need full teaspoon. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get to. I'm just going to do 2 halves because it's easier. Because 2 halves make a whole, you know.
It's funny how that works.
Yep. And I know the spatle's still in there. I actually went a little bit more because we do have about 25% more than a gallon. So yeah, a little bit more. It's fine. I wouldn't go overboard with it though. I don't know what'll happen.
Now this is an optional step.
Oh yeah.
We're strictly using it to aid with clarity. If that's not an issue for you, then you don't need to do it. So guess what? We messed up.
As we shut off the camera, we came to a realization. Well, Derica reminded me. 2 things. First, I never figured out how much alcohol we made, which, you know, it's not that important to us, but a lot of people like to know. So we started off at 1.106. We ended at 0.994. We burned through 112 points times 131.25 gives us 14.7% ABV. Now, I don't think we actually got that. I'm going to round it down to like 14, but it might even be as low as 13 because the fruit gave a lot of water. We had a lot more volume, so it might even be closer to like 11 or 12. You know what? I'm going to put 12. Just be safe, because you know what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
So when I said that we made a mistake, what did we just do? We just added
Sweetener.
Fermentable sugars, in this case of honey, to a brew.
Which means the yeast could kick back up again.
But we also put that in a plastic vessel.
Yep, which we can't pasteurize it. I mean, we could. I don't recommend it. No. I don't like to heat up plastic like that.
No.
So we're going to do something that we've never done before. We're going to use chemical stabilization.
Yep.
We're going to use chemical stabilization.
Yep.
And I would like to go on record as saying Derica suggested it.
I did.
She normally doesn't.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And in this case, we need to stabilize it.
Yeah.
And
now, I'm going to be totally honest. I've never done this before. So I'm just kind of flying blind here. I have a Camden tablet that I'm going to break between 2 spoons because that's the traditional way. It's what you do, right? I don't know why it doesn't just come in a powder, but I guess because it's a dose type of deal. And I'm going to drop that in. I believe you're actually supposed to do this before you sweeten, but oh well, we're doing it now. So that's our Camden tablet. And then we have this really dusty bottle of potassium sorbate that may be too old to work. I don't know. I've never used it.
Does it have an expiration date?
It's probably covered up. Okay. They do actually expire after a while. We've had this for a couple of years. Look,
it's still sealed.
Still sealed. Sealed for my protection. Now, before anybody freaks out that we're doing this, here's the thing. Everything in brewing has its place, and everything has a use. We have used Camden tablets before to prevent oxidizing. So I don't see any problem with using sorbate in this case because it's so much easier than trying to find a fermenter that we could pasteurize this in. It's a choice. Now this says a half teaspoon per gallon. We have slightly over a gallon, so I'm going to do like a rounded half teaspoon.
No, they're the little balls.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I've never used this stuff before. People ask about it all the time, and I actually thought that maybe we should learn a little bit about it because we do get asked frequently.
So look at us, we're learning.
Yeah, trying new things. Now, simply because I am a doubting Thomas kind of person and I don't trust this, we're going to put an airlock on this and find out if it actually stops it, prevents it, however you want to see it. Because fermentation was stopped. And my understanding is that the chemical stabilizers don't stop an active fermentation, but they can prevent fermentation from continuing, which in my thinking means we should have put it in before we sweetened. It's supposed to take like a day, and then you put the sweetener in.
Okay.
So we may have just screwed up. It's possible. We've done that before. Or we might be okay because there's no current fermentation, and it would take a little while for the yeast to kick back up.
So many times when people have asked us about the chemical stabilizers, they said, well, couldn't you just use, and then they just say one of them.
Yeah.
You have to use them in conjunction because they do different things.
Right. And I don't remember. One of them stops the yeast from multiplying. The other one stops them from doing the conversion process. And I don't remember which one's which. So let me answer the next question. What if you didn't want to use all these things? You don't have to. Put this into a metal container or anything that's glass that you've pasteurized in before, or put it into bottles if you want to and pasteurize it that way. The pectic enzyme is totally optional, like we said, too.
You have the benefit that we don't have, that you're watching this video and you know we've
What we
illustrated a mistake, so
Yeah.
you know to avoid that.
Yeah, this is another oops. But this is a good learning experience, I think. And anytime you can learn from something, it's always a good thing, right?
Learning is living.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, see you in a week. Okay, so last week we racked this. We added a Camden tablet and a potassium sorbate amount, a half teaspoon. And that was because we sweetened it. We also added pectic enzyme. So one thing I'd like you to notice, see that? It's showing neutral pressure. It's shown neutral pressure the entire time. Now, does that guarantee that no fermentation activity happened? No, because what if this has a small air leak? And it does. See, if I push on that and it doesn't hold it, see how it falls right back? So you can't go by airlocks all the time. Airlocks are only really for letting the gas out and a slight amount of entertainment value. What you can rely on, to some extent, is gravity reading. Doesn't smell great. I will say that.
We've had that
Yeah.
experience with the stabilizing method we used.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we don't like to do it.
Yeah.
We might regret it.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah. Color's pretty.
Yeah. It's very clear. I think the pectic enzyme worked. A lot of people have asked, they've said that pectic enzyme doesn't work after fermentation. Well, it does, just not as effectively. So that's why we added double the amount. We effectively stopped fermentation, 1.014.
Cool.
Which my only reason for checking that like that was because we did it in a weird way. We added that stuff after sweetening, so we never know if it's going to work right. So
It was an oops.
well, yeah, the whole thing was an oops. But you know what? We need 2 glasses.
We do.
Just going to split this between us. It really did come out crystal clear.
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
It's really a very pretty color. It's a peachy, pinky
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah, it almost looks like pink champagne.
It's beautifully
Without the bubbles.
clear.
Smell, though. I get the strawberry.
I got a swirl.
Yeah.
Hope for better things.
Yeah, and there could be somewhat of a placebo effect happening here because we've commercial products that have sorbate and sulfite in them, we can smell it and we can taste it.
Yeah, I don't really care if it's in it or not, but if I smell it, then then that's where I'm like, ugh.
Which is why we tend to avoid it. Sometimes just swirling heavily like this can make it go away. I'm still getting the strawberry smell a little bit, but I do definitely get a little bit of that. It's almost a rancid kind of smell.
It's not a good place.
Which this is not rancid.
No.
It's from those additives, as best I can tell, because it didn't have this smell before we added them.
Yeah.
Now, somebody might be saying, oh, you're just saying that because you don't like you. No.
If we were hardlined not going to use them, then we wouldn't have used them.
I only used it because...
We liked this brew.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
I'm going to forego smell.
Yeah. Smell. We're not... Just get...
It's not bad. It's a little weak on the taste, like kind of almost watery.
I get it in the after, and I think that's because I specifically did not breathe anything. So I don't have any of the additional notes that I would typically get from the aroma. And I'm doing that on purpose because I remember getting a commercially made mead that smelled like this, and I ended up dumping it out.
Yeah.
And it was a blueberry mead, so I should have really enjoyed it. And the smell just ruined it for me. And those of you who are longtime viewers know that I'm all about smelling things, a little overboard about it. So it's an issue.
I don't know that the additives affected the taste. I will say that. I don't think they did.
It has a soft, subtle taste, and I feel like it should have a soft, subtle taste.
It is very soft and subtle.
Because if you push the tartness that combo could have, then I think that would be too aggressive and annoying.
The tartness is there. The strawberry notes are there. I haven't had rhubarb in so long that I forget what it actually tastes like.
Right.
But I can taste a little bit of tartness and a little bit of sweetness. The honey character is kind of back notish on this one. It's really not coming through well.
Yeah.
This was the Waller Apiary honey. This was not a cheap honey. It was a good honey.
I'm hopeful with aging that some of the issues will go away.
I came into this one today saying, okay, we showed another method that is out there to be used. People ask us why we don't do it all the time. And I said, okay, I'm going to go in with an open mind. I want this to work because this gives us another tool in the toolbox when we need it. However, my reaction and our reaction to this is making me say, I'm less likely to use this as a tool. Mm-hmm. I won't say never because I don't like to say never, but I'm much less likely to use this. I don't think this brew was improved by this. I think it actually reduced its quality slightly.
Now, we used it because
I was too lazy to...
Because we were too lazy to re-rack it from this vessel.
I should have just racked it. And that would have been the solution. Rack it into something that I could pasteurize and we'd have been fine.
Yep.
But, 2020, hindsight. I'm a little disappointed. I have to admit, we might have kind of made this not as good as it could be just by doing that.
I'm sad.
Which I know a lot of people out there are going, what are you talking about? I do this all the time.
If it works for you, fantastic. That's the tool you should use.
But if you believe that works and it's better, I want you to do an experiment. Try pasteurizing and using the sorbate and metabisulfite side by side and test them. And you know what? Just to be totally fair and honest and open-minded, we're going to do that too. We're going to do a test where we sorbate and sulfite the same batch and we pasteurize another section of that batch and then do a blind test and see which we like.
Do the tape on the bottom.
Yep. We need to do that. We need to start that test soon. It won't be today, but we'll start that test very soon because I think that's fair because it's unfair for us to say that's why we don't like this.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a frame of reference to actually say that. So
I
don't want to go there.
Right. And I feel bad because this is the first time we've done a strawberry rhubarb.
Right.
This is the first time we've done a rhubarb at all.
Now, we used canned rhubarb. Is it possibly the canned rhubarb just it gives an off flavor? That's totally possible. That's why I don't want to say it's definitely this. But all we can do is judge this as it is to put a score on it right now.
I feel like when we were doing the adjustments, though, we were very pleased.
Yeah, we were happy with it. It tasted good. And now I'm like, And again, we don't have a dog in the fight, really. If it tastes better, we do it more often.
I was actually really hoping it was going to be an easy cheat, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was hoping this was going to be
because that's what everybody tells me is it's so easy. Just do this and then it's fine.
Fantastic. That's great. But
there's a downside. Everything has a downside.
It's making me a sad panda. And I don't even know if it's appropriate to put a number on it, but we have to, don't we?
We don't have to. We can skip the number if you like. I would put this at below great, though. I would say this is good. I could drink it, but I'm hoping that time helps it. That's the best I got.
Yep.
So I'd probably be like, if I had to put a number, it's like a 6.
5 is as high as I would go.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, we're both feeling pretty rough about this one. So my suggestion to you is if you do make this and you do it the way we do, please don't add the additives. Instead, pasteurize it. You'll probably appreciate it more. But like I said, we're going to do that test so that we know that that's actually what the difference was, at least we can see the difference later. And in the meantime,
yeah, we're gonna let this sit some more, and then we will eventually get around to bottling it. That's our new practice now. We let things sit longer after the final tasting before bottling, because that way we end up with a clear, non-sedimented on the bottom bottle. As you saw, it was a beautifully clear beverage, and so we want that to be represented in our bottles.
And one bottle will be put away for a year from today, where we will do another tasting, and hopefully it improved. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.